Om Swastiastu, everyone. Welcome to Somatic Sundays. Om Swastiastu is the Balinese kind of prayerful greeting here. So, in honor of Saraswati Day and just being in this spiritual heartland of Bali, Om Swastiastu. And welcome to this week's episode. We are going to move from a standing position and do some joint articulation, some exploration, and then we're going to sit for meditation. So I encourage you to get your space set up, cozy, whatever you need. You don't even need a proper yoga mat or anything. We're just going to do some standing movement, and then I'm going to sit on the couch for meditation. So like I said, if you watched last week's episode, make sure you set up your meditation seat so you're comfortable. Now that could be seated on the floor, it could be seated on a couch with some back support, it could be in a chair, whatever it is that's going to allow you to just sit comfortably for around 10 to 15 minutes. If you need to, you can even lie down. We just have a tendency to fall asleep at times if we do. And like I said before, the best thing we can do is lift and raise our hips in our seat a little bit higher than our knees, and that will support our spine and low back to be in a properly anchored and upright position. So whatever you need to do to prepare your meditation seat, and when you're ready, coming to a standing position. Beautiful. So find a hip width stance, anywhere between a fist and 2 fists distance between your feet, and make your feet parallel. You can lift and rock from your toes to your heels to start. So I'm just going from my heels up to my tiptoes and back. And we're just engaging with the ground a little bit, finding our feet on the floor. Maybe you want to take a deep breath as we arrive into this space. Back and forth with the heels and the toes, feeling the leg muscles engage a bit, the thighs and the calves. And I'm almost imagining the bottoms of my feet like a rocking boat, back and forth. And just finding the edges, finding the seams, and being curious. Do I feel all 10 toes? And do I feel the outer edge of my feet? Can I feel into this space of the arch? And what's it feel like to come back on my heels? Is maybe like one position a little bit more comfortable? We all tend to have our weight a bit more forward, a bit more back. And then gently and slowly you can start to find center as you ease the rocking. So feet are coming flat on the floor. And we're still playing with weight, but the feet are flat on the floor. So heel to toe, just shifting my weight by leaning forward and leaning back. And we begin to shorten the range of that movement as we find center. So where's a place that feels balanced? Then I feel I have pressure, contact with the ground, both through my heels and underneath my toes, and under the knuckles of my feet, kind of right here under the metatarsals, where the metatarsal bones connect to my toes. And can I feel the outer edge also connected? Creating a really stable, connected anchor to the ground beneath me. Close the eyes for a moment if that feels comfortable for you. If not, you can just soften the gaze. And just take a few deep breaths In and out through the nose. Emphasizing a longer exhalation as we ground and calm. And keeping an awareness of the bottom and soles of my feet in connection with the earth. That sense of weightiness, anchoring, stability. Breathing that in, letting gravity pour down through the top of my head, through all my joints and bones, through these connection points throughout my body, down through the ankle and the heel, into the sole and arch of the feet, through the outer edge and the toes. We might notice that we've shifted a little bit of our weight to one side or one leg or front and back. And if we catch ourselves in that, we can just gently try to center and align so we're as evenly distributed in our weight as possible through both legs and both feet. And it's very common to favor one side or the other and front and back. So nothing wrong there. We're just bringing another level of consciousness and awareness to how we tend to stand, how we tend to ground. Beautiful. If the eyes are closed, you can open the eyes gently. Let's take the hands in front of us. We're going to interlace the fingers. We're going to point the palms out, and we're just going to lift the arms all the way up over the head. Deep breath in. And lengthen through the side body, through the ribs, open through the chest. Keep the feet grounded. Maybe the eyes come up, chin comes up towards the ceiling. Deep breath in and release. Let the arms fall down by your sides. Now we're going to let the arms get heavy. As we do so, as we shake and bounce through the arms, we can begin to bend the knees as well. So we're bending the knees, bouncing through the knees, the arms, everything's getting a little loose. And it's almost as if I'm dropping. I'm dropping through the knees. So I let go. I surrender. I let go. I surrender. Good. And then we can find a bit more of a casual bounce. And let the joints be loose. You can shake it out. Good. Come back to center. Let's inhale the arms up above the head again. Exhale, release. Arms come down by the sides. Let's take two more. Inhale, arms up above. The gaze can follow if it feels good for you. Maybe even take a little back bend. Exhale, release. So we're drawing up this stable, connected, grounded energy from the feet, and we're inhaling, drawing it up through the arms, through the whole body. Exhale, release. Let's take that two more times, really imagining drawing up this grounded, connected earth energy through the bottoms of the feet. So inhale. This time I'm going to take the hands up along the front of my torso. Inhale. Push and face the palms towards the ceiling. Exhale. Again, so we're gathering that energy, drawing it up through the body on our inhalation. The palms turn and face towards the ceiling. And as we reach the top, we exhale, palms face out, and we release. This is a bit more of a Qigong energetic practice. Inhale. Draw that energy up. Palms go face up. Gaze goes up. Exhale, create space around you. Last one. Inhale. Gather, gather, gather. Pull all the way up through the whole body. Send it to the sky. And exhale, create space. Good. All right, now we can shake out the legs too. I don't want us to get too stiff there. we never want to lock the knees when we're standing like that. So always make sure we have just a slight micro bend in the knees, keep them easy. We want to be steady, but any sense of kind of locking out our joints, it blocks the flow of prana, of energy, of chi. So we can stand tall and firm and rooted and grounded, but we don't want to be locked out. There's a sense of ease in our posturing. In Qigong, they talk about having it as if an imaginary string is at the top of your head and it's pulled you upright all the way, and then you go there's a little slack, and it's as if you're just floating there. So let's try that. That's a beautiful meditative stance. So find your hip width distance in your feet. You want the shoulders stacking up over the hips stacking up over the knees, and the knees over the ankles. And that way, the pathway of weight and gravity can just pour directly through the body, and we find a really nice, grounded, stable center. And that's where, if you can't find that or feel that, that's where we have to play with, okay, are we putting too much weight forward, too much weight back, one side or another? So take a moment, find your center. A lot of times our hips are a little rotated or sent off to one side, so you can even take your hands to your hips and just play with a little bit. Find a place that feels centered. It's probably not going to be perfect, and as we find it, we'll probably shift out of it. So we're just, again and again, attuning our awareness to a true center, and then anytime we catch ourselves out of it, we're just bringing ourselves back. It's the same as meditation. So finding your center, you can lock the knees for a moment to see what that feels like, to have them really straight and taut, and then relax. And that's where we're at. So I have a slight bend in my knees. Let's roll the shoulders a bit. Roll the shoulders up, down, and back. Just a few times. And then release them down and back. Chest is open, but we're not stressed. We're not, I'm here. No, we're ease, relax, comfortable, upright, present, aware, but easeful, balanced, grounded, present. Deep breath in, exhale through the mouth. Let's take a few of those. If you'd like, you can follow along with the hands. It's a nice gesture. Inhaling through the nose. Flipping the palms at the throat. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale, gather. Once you've relaxed, you've stabilized, keep the inhale and the exhale in and out through the nose only. Balanced evenly through both feet. I notice I'm putting all my weight into my right, so I'm going to emphasize bringing a little bit more balance into my left leg. Inhale, we're gathering earth energy, grounded energy, anchoring. Exhale, we're dispersing that energy throughout our entire body, space, and aura. Inhale. Exhale. And I know some of this energy talk and aura, it might be a little unfamiliar, but we're just cultivating a sense of presence more than anything. Being with our in and our out breath, and mimicking that rhythm, that cycle, and that flow with the hands. So encouraging this embodied sense of presence and awareness, breath by breath. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. This time we're going to leave the hands facing the ground, palms facing the ground. Create a little bit of space between the ribs and the elbow and the arm. So almost like you're holding just like a tennis ball underneath your arms. And the palms are face down. The fingers, not stressed, right? Relaxed. Relaxed in the joints. Hanging from the top of the string at the top of our head. And can we just root down in here? Soften the gaze. Soften any tension in the jaw and the face. Let go of any fears and worries. Relax in the hands. Breathing into a sense of lightness and ease. If you want, you can let the eyes close or just soften the gaze. Release the holding and tension in the legs. Once our energy starts to flow, we realize that ideally it takes no muscular effort at all to be in a position like this. And that might not be the case for you right now, and it's not necessarily the case for me. I can feel my right leg wanting to grip and tension. But it's just a recurring level of awareness and bringing back, let me let that go. Release that tension. Okay, are my feet firmly planted? And am I even in my stance, in my hips? Okay, and deep breath in. Standing tall and shaking it all out. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Release, let go, flick the hands, flick the arms. Get a little bounce in the knees. Yeah, make some noise, flutter the lips. I'm kind of up on my tippy toes, getting a little bounce here. It just feels good. It feels good to relax, to release in the joints. Be weird. Wiggle. Don't have to, no one's watching. This is you, your space, your practice. Really let it go. There's nothing wrong with shaking it out, vocalizing, sighing deep. Let's take 2 more of those. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, drop. Keep that bounce in the knees. Inhale, big one. Good. Finding a little bit more stillness, just some last little shakes here. Good. Beautiful. And we're just going to open up through the knees a little bit, so because we've been standing a little bit more rigid, so just doing some little butt kicks here, bringing the heel towards the glutes, bending the knee. And the trick here is to keep our knee from coming forward too much. So that was overemphasized, but try to keep the thighs flat and in line, and then we're really opening up through the joint. If it sticks forward too much, it's more muscular. So we want to really open the joints. The ankles can be loose and easy. And we're just taking some little butt kicks here. Remembering our breath. Maybe we can feel really clearly, because we've generated so much awareness in the bottom of the feet, the way the foot is landing. Are we landing heel first, arch first, edge first, toes, maybe all at once? And then how much pressure are we meeting the ground with? Can we meet it softly but fully? We can stomp. We can go really slow. Where's that beautiful middle way of being active and alive, but touching the ground tenderly and softly with awareness? Almost like a ninja. Can you make it so there's no sound? Beautiful. Slowing down. Good. Good. And then we're going to take the hips in front of us, so the knee is going to bend out to 45-degree angle out at the side, come down. So the foot is rotating out 45 degrees. We're bringing the knee up and back down. And when we come back down, we're coming back to parallel stance. I just kind of rest my hands here in the center. We're just going one after another. Maybe we feel the core activate a little bit. How much in center and in line can we be? If when we bring our knee up, we're getting thrown way off balance, we're going too high. So just bring it a little lower. Doesn't have to be all the way up. We're just opening the hips, activating through the legs, ankles, and then really supporting this lower body foundation and trunk so that we can stay rooted and grounded. Good. A few more. Attention to the breath. Maybe we're feeling a bit more active here. Good. Last one on either side. And shake it out. Shake out the ankle a little bit. Good. Bring the hands to the hips. We're in our nice hip width stance. Feet are parallel. Or just take some hip circles. So we're just sending the hips all the way around. Round and round. In some big wide circles. If there's a place within the circle that you feel a bit of extra tension or tightness, you can always kind of hang out there for a little bit, get curious, see what kind of movement might kind of oil up that space and release it. Reverse direction. Awareness of the breath in and out of the nose. Good. And coming back to center. And again, shaking out the arms, letting the joints be soft and easy. This is something that I come back to every single day, is just this little bounce and shake out of the limbs and the joints. And it just allows us, when we're relaxed, when we're grounded, the body is at ease and the joints are relaxed and there's spaciousness. One of my teachers likes to say, enlightenment is space between the joints. If we're tight, if we're locked, it just creates blockage and stagnation. So easy in the joints, in the fingers. Are we gripping when we're driving the car or we're at our computer? Are we hunching forward? Deep breath, bring everything into alignment, find that beautiful sense of gravity pouring through the body. And here we are. Beautiful. We're going to take the feet all the way together this time. This is our last little movement here, I think. And it's going to be a combination of everything. So this time, feet are together, finding our center line. And then we're interlacing the hands like we did at the beginning. Palms are facing out. We're coming all the way up. And now we're going to move both the arms and the hips together. So we're going round and around. Hips, arms, and chest all mimicking each other. I call this around the world. And so we're just opening through the entirety of the body. And we're also activating through the core, playing with a bit of balance work. You can really feel that side body opening, the chest, the back, and then find length through the spine. So we're growing nice and tall. Reverse direction. And if this feels doable and not so hard to you, which it could, I challenge you, my teacher, to come onto, this is tough, onto the tippy toes. So find your tippy toes and then come all the way around. I often, if I do this at a certain point, I lose balance. Whoa, my whole back just cracked. And then we really have to take attention to our breath. Find a still point within us to stay balanced. And if you're on your feet, All the way, that's great. Beautiful. Okay, bring the arms back behind the head, the hands back behind the head. Before we take a big arching back bend, just rest the back of the head into the back of the hands with a bit of pressure. The hands are right at the back of the skull, this bone that we call the occiput, which connects the top of the spine and the spinal cord to the rest of the skull and the brain. So right there resting, my hands are interlaced. I have my feet hip width distance, nice and parallel, anchored, and I'm just taking the slightest bit of pressure into the back of the head, and it feels like I'm lifting through my entire spine without overarching, but just finding this bit of length through the spine and through this engagement with the back of the head and the hands. And then breathing into the lengthening of the spine. So inhaling. So as we inhale, we find length and the body naturally expands. Diaphragm, ribs, chest. And then exhale, we relax, we release any tension, but we keep the length. Inhale. Spine is growing, growing tall. Exhale. Keeping that length. I'm even feeling a bit of stretch and lengthening through my abdomen. Inhale, last one. And exhale, release the hands down by the sides, and you know what's coming. Little shake, little bounce. Woof. Letting it all go. Maybe even getting a little loosey-goosey with it. Back and forth, side to side, roll the shoulders. Beautiful. I hope you're feeling grounded, easeful, relaxed. Yeah. We're going to move into a bit of meditation now that we've warmed up the body, articulated. Sometimes we need to prepare the body in order to sit. So take a moment, gather what you need for your seat, and come into whatever type of meditation position feels good for you. I love having some back support for my meditation. It allows me to just root in, feel comfortable, feel grounded. And I also love to have a pillow in my lap. And so when I place my hands together on the pillow, they could be seated like this with the palms down if you really want some grounding, or I like to kind of cup the palms together and put my thumbs together. And then the pillow helps to support my arms so my shoulders can drop. So find your seat. And again, now we're letting gravity pour through the body, through the joints, through all the bones, from the top of the head down. And in our seat, our anchor point becomes the tip of our tailbone and our sacrum, and the two halves of the pelvis, which all kind of form this pelvic bowl and our grounded seat in connection with the earth. So just feel gravity pouring through the body into that seat. Let gravity in. Allow this weightiness to enter the body. Not through effort or doing, but actually through releasing, through letting go of control. Inviting in this natural sense of stillness and energy. And this is why I really love a supported meditation seat, because it just reminds me that, oh yeah, this is not about effort. This is not about doing. This is about easing myself into stillness. Finding the breath in and out through the nose, softening the gaze, coming home. If it feels good to close the eyes, feel free to do so. If the eyes would rather stay open, can kind of let the eyelids just soften. And we don't want to look at anything in particular, but we open our field of vision to just invite in both everything and nothing in particular. Release any holding in the jaw and the corners of the eyes, the forehead, and the shoulders. Any holding in the hips and the legs. And just enjoy your seat of stillness. If thoughts are coming up, ideas, that's okay. Anchor back to this present moment through the sensation of the clothes on your back, the air on your skin, through the sounds around you. Through any tastes or smells. Just inviting in whatever is around us without judgment, without a need to name it or discern it. And from this seat of stillness, with our awareness drawn inward now, you can ask yourself, what is most alive in me right now? What is most alive in me right now? What kind of sensation or feeling, kind of pulsation? There's no right or wrong answer. We're simply naming how we're feeling in this moment. And the simple act of naming it affirms our presence in this moment, in space and time. Gently anchoring your awareness in your breath, and the sounds around you, any sensations or subtle pulsations. And as you're ready, in your own time, letting the eyes flutter open, coming back to your space, to the reality outside of you. And maybe before moving too much, you can simply scan your space with your eyes, taking in the objects, the light, the depth, and slowly the neck can begin to move with you, and you can expand that sense of vision to include the whole space. And just acknowledging where we are. Anchoring ourselves in the presence of this time and space. I'm going to grab my journal and pen and just give myself a few minutes to free write, to see what comes up without an agenda, without a plan. Just see what arises within me. I encourage you and welcome you to do the same. And thank you so much for practicing with me, for subscribing. If these practices and reflections inspire you and you have friends that you think would like to join this community in this space, please, please, please send this out to them, share it. The first month's practices are all free, and I have more practices on my YouTube and in my bio and yada yada. More than anything, I'm grateful you're here, and I hope you have a really lovely week.